Hi students, today we're going to complete what we started with. We are about to finish our unit. Now in the last lesson we had the writing, which was about writing about a famous figure. Now you had to choose a famous or wealthy person or both to research about this person, and then after that to just put notes or events about him, and then write a descriptive essay about this person's life, and then you can exchange together what you have written or who you have written about. So don't forget to make a list of the key events, including no more than 12 event items. And as I showed you in Unit 1, you can use like a checklist for evaluation, just to make sure that you have your points in the correct order. Now we are in this part, which is the form, meaning, and function. So just to revise or just to connect everything together, let's go back to Stephen Paul Jobs. Now here, in this part, we just want to check on the verbs that we have in this paragraph. We can just outline was born. We have also adopted, grew up, became. Now here, working, I did not choose it. Why? Because we have here into a working class, which is like a noun. We have here he dropped. He could not afford. And we have here proceeded. So just to revise here, now all of these are the verbs that we have here in the paragraph. Now the verbs that you can see here, they are all in the past. The verb that we have into a working class here, working is as a noun in the sentence, it is not a verb. So mainly, we know that Stephen Paul Jobs is not alive, so which means that all of these happened in his life, and we have all of these verbs are in the past tense. He was born, he was adopted in a working class, he grew up, he dropped, he proceeded. So all of these things happened in the past and they're done. Going to our second example, Mohammed Abdulatif Jamil. Now he was, or he still is, a great philanthropist. Now also we are going to see here what are the verbs. We are going to choose between runs, created, or has created, has contributed, has been named, and we have here offered. So what's the difference between this part and Stephen Jobs? The first paragraph, they were all in the past tense because Stephen, he lived, he's not alive now. All his achievements or all the things that he have done are done. They are in the past. But Mohammed Abdulatif Jamil, he still, we are talking about now, in his lifetime. And that's why there are things that are still related to the present that we have. As any other action, some actions they start in the past, but they still have a relation or a connection to the present. So this is why we have two kinds of presents. We have the present simple. We have the present simple perfect. They are different from the present progressive. Now in Unit 1, we talked about the present simple and the present progressive. But now we have here the present perfect, and we will see more what is the difference between them. But just to revise what we have here, we have runs is present simple, has created is present perfect simple, has contributed is also present perfect simple, and also we have here he has been named is in the present perfect, but here we have the passive form, and we have here offered is in the past. So which means that we have here 4 forms of tenses They are different. We have here in the first part, which was about Stephen Jobs, just one form, which is in the past. So as we said, we are going to talk about different tenses. Of course, here we are interested in the past and the present together. Your objectives for the lesson are to write about famous figures, which is your assignment, just to remind you. Compare between two tenses, the present perfect simple and the past simple. And note here that you have here the present perfect simple. And we have the past simple. We are going to use since and for with the present perfect simple. And we are going to ask questions using how long and have you ever. So here we have our timeline. As we said, we are concerned with the past, and also we are concerned with the present. And to understand grammar here, we have two things, which are the meaning and the structure. And at the beginning of the semester, we talked about this and said to understand or focus on grammar, you have to understand both things, the meaning and the structure. The meaning is which part do I want? What is the message I want to deliver? And the structure is what do I use in my sentence? So if I am talking about something, we have here, just a minute, yes. Okay, so we have here, if I'm talking about something in the present, which means that I am talking about something happening now, this is the meaning, now is the meaning. And using verb ing is the structure. If I want something in the future, so which means that I will refer to the future in my meaning, and using will means the structure. If I want to mention something that is done, it doesn't have any relation, so which means that I'm going to use the past tense. And for the structure, we have here ed, for example, or the irregular form, just to show you the past tense. So as we said, we have to concentrate, or what do I want to deliver as a message, so we can move on both. Okay. Yes. Now we have here, mark the sentence if you can or cannot give the exact time. Here you have the sentences, just read them. We have here, I have heard about the ozone layer. I slept early at 8 o'clock. We ate pasta for dinner last night. Ahmed went to Jeddah last week. Everyone has seen Al-Mamlaka, and so on. Now here, just to see the difference between them, you have to know, can you see the exact time or not? Now, for example, number one, I have heard about the ozone layer. Okay, everyone has heard, or a lot of people have heard about the ozone layer. Do you know the exact time that you have heard about the ozone layer? No. So here, can or can I not? We have here, cannot. I slept early at 8 o'clock. So here, we have here 8 o'clock is the time. So I gave the exact time, which means that the time I can. We ate pasta for dinner last night. Also, we have here last night is the time. So we have it exactly, which means that we have here I can also. Ahmed went to Jeddah last week. So when did he go? He went last week, which means that we have here, yes, we can. Everyone has seen Al-Mamlaka. Can we give the exact time for seeing Al-Mamlaka? We cannot. So we have here. The room has been cleaned. Is it mentioned when was the room cleaned? No. So we have here, it cannot. 7, you didn't do the homework yesterday. So from the word yesterday, we can give the exact time. Rana cleaned the room yesterday. Also from the word yesterday, we have the exact time. I have played tennis since I was a little girl. A little girl here, it's just a reference, but it is not exact, so I cannot. Number 10, we have lived in Riyadh for 15 years. So here, just to focus on this sentence, we have lived in Riyadh for 15 years. I did not give an exact time for an action. I just showed the period. The period of how many years have I lived in Riyadh. So here, 15 years is not an exact time, so which means that I cannot. They visited Amal last Monday. Last Monday means that I cannot. And Ali has fixed the car. There is no time mentioned, which means that I cannot. So what's the point? If you just look at these tables here, or these sentences, you can notice something. Just noticing here, we can see that the ones that are not given an exact time, they all have, has seen, has been cleaned, I have played, we have lived, and Ali has. So all of these sentences that are not given the exact time, they have either, we have here, have, or has in the sentence, plus the past participle, which is the third form of the verb. But on the other hand, if you can see the ones that we can give the exact time, I slept early, we ate pasta, Ahmed went to Jeddah. These are past simple verbs. They are in the past simple. So we have here the two sentences, or so the two tenses. The first tense is the past simple, and the other tense is the present perfect simple. The present perfect means that we are using has or have in the sentence, and the past simple is the regular past tense verb. Moving on. So the past tense verb is something that happens in the past. There is no relationship whatsoever with the present. Now we can say for many examples, for example, let's say I lost my keys. I slept early. I can also say, for example, let's just change a little bit and say, for example, the students have, or sorry, not have, let's just erase this one. The students presented the lesson. So we have the three verbs. We have here lost, we have here slept, we have here also presented in the sentences, and here did can be in the negative or in the question. So we can say, for example, I didn't lose my keys. Did you sleep early? And what did the students present? Regular tense. On the other hand, we have here the present perfect simple. As we said, it is connected between the past and the present. There is some kind of connection. Now, when we said, for example, everyone has seen al-mamlaka, can you say in the past when you saw al-mamlaka? No. Do you know al-mamlaka now? Yes. So which means that we have here some kind of connection that shows that there is an effect or there is something still happening in the present time. So here, we can use either has or have in the sentence. And we have here, it connects the past, as we said, with the present. For example, they have done a lot of constructions in Riyadh. So we can see that we used have plus the past participle done, and which means that we have the constructions are still going on. And in our table here, we have either the plural using have plus the past participle, or the singular with has plus the past participle. Now, here the question, how long? How long have you studied? Or how long have you been cleaning your room? How long has he been fixing the car? So we have here, how long here can be used, and with how long we can use either for or since. So the present perfect tense is used with for or since. Now you can see here in the table, since can be used with a time mentioned. We can say, for example, we have been fixing our house, or we have fixed our house since Ramadan. Ahmed has started working here since last year. The mosque has been open since Eid. We can say, for example, I have been studying since 12:30. So since here is related with a time mentioned. It's a time mentioned. It can be a time as a clock. It can be a date. It can be a month, a period of time. But it has to be a specific time mentioned. This is used with what? With since. On the other hand, we have here, or these are our examples. We can say, for example, I have been in the office since 9 o'clock. She has known Emma since I was a girl. We haven't taken a test since last week. And I have had a driving license since I was 18. On the other hand, we have here for. If you can see that for is used with numbers. It has to be counted. We have here, for example, 7 hours. A long time is counted. Why? Because we have here a, which shows that it is 1. 10 seconds, a decade, 10 minutes, 5 years, a month, and 2 weeks. So here in our examples, I have waited for my friend for an hour. As I said, it's just 1 hour. I have studied English for a month. It hasn't rained for more than 2 weeks. And they have been in Dubai for 5 years. So in all the 4 examples, you can see that there is something counted. And when you have the counted here, you use with it for. Have you ever is also connected with the present simple, perfect. Now, have you ever, it depends on the kind of experiences that you can have. So have you ever, just put in mind the structure of the question. I would prefer to leave it for the next lesson because we have something prepared for your project, inshallah. So we have here, just to give you a hint, that we have here, have you ever is connected with the present perfect simple. And then we have an exercise that you have in the book. Now here we have a complete the sentences with for or since. Now just see the end or after the blank. What do you have? Is it something that is counted, which means that you will use for? If it is a period of time, you will use since. So doing it together, let's just do it quickly. Go back. Yes, okay. We have here. Yes. Now the first one. Hamid has had the same TV, blank, 15 years. So we have here 15 counted, which means that I'm going to use for. I've had my laptop last June. Is it counted? No. So we have here, we're going to use since. We've worked on this project a month, 1 month. So which means that we have here the word for. My friends haven't visited me, my graduation. Here, this is a period of time. So which means that we have here, since my graduation. We haven't used our car a long time, also not counted. So we have here, we're going to use also since. I've been drinking tea years. Years here gives you the impression that it is counted, many years. So we have here 4 years. Tariq has worn glasses, the age of 7. So I'm talking about the period, which is the age. So which means that we have here age associated with since. And the last one, when have you had that beautiful watch? There's nothing counted here, which means also I'm going to use the word since. So this is the first exercise that you have in your book. Oh, sorry. Okay, so we have here, no, we're done. Yes. Now the last part is we have here our outline. Of course, we had here, we did reading, we did writing, we did also speaking at the same time. Now, what did we do basically, or in general? We used the present perfect simple in sentences. We used the past simple in sentences. We used since and for with the present perfect simple. And we asked and are going to ask questions using how long and have you ever. So we have this part, as we said, we will leave it as an introduction for our next lesson, inshallah, which is going to be the last lesson in Unit 2. So until we have our project, just go back and focus in your book, do the exercises that we have for the present perfect simple and the past simple, and just try to focus on the meaning, how one is related to the present and one is just in the past. Good luck.